Hey guys, Corel Cooper here with OnTheBlack.com. So, was driving home from work today. I was listening to WFAN, the Mike Francesa show, and a caller called in and had a really interesting question. And the question was, if the Mets approached the Blue Jays about trading for Roy Halladay, what if the Blue Jays said, yes, we will trade him to you, but you've got to also take Vernon Wells and his contract along with them? And what should the Mets do in this particular case? And I thought about that for a second because it's a really sort of tempting deal, to land someone like Halladay, who is arguably the best pitcher in baseball. If you had him at the top of your rotation with Johan Santana, that's a 1-2 punch that you could ride all the way to the playoffs. But in thinking about this a little bit more, if the Blue Jays and the Mets sort of got into that hypothetical situation, I would say that I would not want to take Roy Halladay if it included Vernon Wells. And here I've got some reasons why, so just want to kind of run these reasons by you guys. The first is, Vernon Wells' contract is absolutely ridiculous. He's still got about 4 or 5 years left on his deal, and the Blue Jays still owe him about $98 million. That's a lot of money for a guy who just hit 260 this year with 15 home runs. And just to give you guys the breakdown of what I'm talking about, looking at MLB contracts, next year in 2010, Wells is owed $2.5 million. In 2011, he's owed $23 million. In 2012, $21 million. 2013, $21 million. And 2014, $21 million. That's a lot of money to be paying Vernon Wells. So that's the first reason. The second reason why I would say no to that deal is, where's Vernon Wells going to play? He's a center fielder with the Toronto Blue Jays. Obviously, he's not going to play center field with the Mets. They have Beltran there. I know we're looking for a left fielder. I don't know if that would be an option or not. We already have a right fielder, and they would be paying him too much money just to sit on the bench. So that would be an issue too. The third reason is we would still need to sign Roy Halladay to a long-term deal. He's only got 1 year left on his contract with the Blue Jays. I wouldn't want to trade for him if the Mets couldn't reach an agreement to sign him long-term. So that would still be a hurdle. The next reason is I think that with John Lackey being out on the free agent market right now, signing him and bringing him in and not having to give anything up for him and not having to take on an additional contract like Vernon Wells is a better option and adds more value to the situation. So I think there are options there where if the Mets did get into that hypothetical with the Blue Jays, they wouldn't have to take on that extra salary. You could sign someone like Lackey and bring him in. And I'm not saying that Lackey is comparable to Roy Halladay, because obviously Halladay's a better pitcher than Lackey, but Lackey is still a solid top of the rotation pitcher, and you can bring him in and sign him long term without bringing in extra baggage. So those are my reasons after thinking about it. Again, any scenario in which you could land Roy Halladay is a tempting one, but if the Blue Jays presented it as it's a package, in order to get a Halladay, you have to take on Vernon Wells' contract. As a Mets fan, I wouldn't want the Mets to do that. I would love to hear what you guys think about that. Let me know, and I'll talk to you soon.